Guys, this is a really long and chatty video with me not doing much interesting. And so I figured I better show you this right at the beginning. I'm recording this after I recorded the whole video, but I want to show you something. Watch this. Anyway, I'll explain as we get into it. It's even cooler the closer you get. Hello everybody, welcome to Minecraft on the Block, I guess, kind of, and welcome to something completely different. So I haven't done any videos for a while, and I apologize. I'm not sure what the future is going to hold for this, this being me doing videos, but this is actually my second take, and I'm not going to do another take. So however wonky this is, I'm going to just do it because I know how I am, and I could spend all day. Oh, I love auto-generated crosses. I'm in a creative world because it's not just a creative world. You can tell it's really slow and laggy. It's because I have like 4 instances of Eclipse open, and I'm in a development build. I'm running out of Eclipse. So what I'm going to talk about today is a mod, the potential for a mod that I'm going to do. I don't know why. I just hit a wall again with the whole playing thing. There's been, I don't know, a lot of just stuff that has influenced this decision, but I just haven't been into playing. Somebody asked me to play Terraformacraft the other day or do some videos, and I was like, I should probably check it out. I haven't seen it in a while, so I went and looked, and it's cool. I mean, he's like, if you guys haven't seen that, like the chiseling and like the placing of planks and stuff like that now is unbelievable. Like you can cut a block into, I don't remember, 50 different pieces or something, and you can basically remove any one of 50 pieces of a block. Oh, this is perfect. I wanted to have a village to show you guys something. So like 50 different pieces of a block, which is awesome. I mean, you can imagine the possibilities. You can truly create anything you want now, almost within that Terraformacraft. So anyway, and then there's a lot of just additional really cool stuff going on. So I didn't know that these became like all sand. Huh. Anyway, I haven't been keeping up on things. So that's probably been a long time. Anyway, so yeah, so I was playing Terraformacraft, and that really kind of got me back into the idea that I want to make a mod. But it also was, I was just like, man, I can't put a lot of time into Terraformacraft. Right now, I'm just not sure about putting a lot of time into Feed the Beast. I've been playing on the server, and Sarkaz hasn't been able to get on too much, although I haven't actually seen whether he's been on this week or not. But it's just been, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't know what to do. So anyway, I've decided to do a mod, and this is something I wanted to do for a long time. I'm not sure how long this is going to last, how far it's going to go, so don't get too excited. Luckily, there's like nobody that watches my videos, so not too many people are going to get excited anyway, but I'm going to give it a try and just, do some things, think about some things. And today I'm just going to show you just one really basic concept that I've implemented and talk about kind of what I'm thinking, and then get some feedback from you guys. And then, like I said, we'll see where it goes from there. But so anyway, that's enough about that. I'll probably talk more about the whole everything more later, I guess. But right now, what I want to do is show you guys the first thing that I've done here. So I have this thing called a meteor, and really I'm going to change it to use the fire charge because that would look cooler. But anyway, this is really just an item that spawns meteors. When I've looked before, I'm just going to give you guys the whole spiel. You can watch the video or not. You can like it or not. It doesn't matter at this point. But when I've in the past looked at building mods, what I've done, the very first time, I remember my wife was reminding me of this the other day, the very first time that I tried to build a mod, I found some tutorials, and I thought, man, this is going to be great. Like, there's so much information out there. I can just start playing and just messing around, and there'll be all, like, anything I want to be able to do, I'll be able to find, because it seemed like there was a really good set of tutorials, like first block, first item, making a new type of sword, making new enchantments, all this stuff. But once I dug into it, I realized that it was really just like a lot of tutorials on doing the very basic things that you do in the game, like maybe create a new block and a new item, but not do anything really interesting with them, and not really like, everything was basically just make a sword that does something different, or, make an item that turns things into diamonds, or make a new bow that has a strange effect or whatever, but not the things, and some ore generation or whatever, which again, I mean, it's interesting and it will be helpful, but once I really started like getting to the point where I was like, oh man, the possibilities are endless. I can do so much with this. Then I realized that the things I wanted to do, there weren't a lot of tutorials on, and you have to figure out a lot of it by yourself. And so I'm a professional software developer, as a lot of you know, and I develop relatively complex software. I've done some really complex software, and we do, we work with a lot of different technologies. I have no problem learning new things. I really enjoy it. I wouldn't consider myself any type of developer. I'm not a Java developer, or a .NET developer, or a C developer. I'm just a developer. But one thing I know from experience is when you get into projects trying to utilize existing frameworks, and there's not a lot of documentation, or they're complex and not very well like self-documenting, which unobfuscated .NET or not .NET Minecraft code is not that self-explanatory, and even the Minecraft Forge stuff, which is very helpful, is not as well documented as I had hoped. And I'm sure I'm going to find more documentation, and things are going to become more helpful. But anyway, enough about that. It's just harder than I thought. So I've had some real struggles a few times. It was about a year ago the first time I started looking at it, and then after that I've gotten into this a few more times, and I've gotten to the same places. I've learned just a little bit more every time, but I just give up because I don't know if I want to put the time and effort into it. I know I can. I just not sure if I want to. So anyway, here I am again. I've decided I'm going to do it, and this time I'm going to remove all the blocks. I feel like there's been some things that have just kind of come against the whole thing. It's been very difficult to get going, but I'm going to push through. So I've pushed through and gotten one of the things that I want to play with done. So I know I've probably already talked for 15 or 20 minutes, and you guys don't care, but here's the first interesting thing. This is a meteor, and actually what it's going to do is spawn meteors, and I don't know where they're going to come from. So first I'm going to do it over here. I don't have full control of my code yet. So I'm going to do this one here. There it is. So that was a meteor, and that thing basically deposited a few things, and I'll talk about what this is. But I can spawn them, and they'll kind of just generally, let's see, that one came, there it is. You can kind of see what's going on. It's really interesting, the patterns. Like I said, I haven't got total control over how all this is working, but it'll only do one deep on the surface. So anyway, that's the idea. The reason I'm doing meteors is because one of the principles of my mod is going to be, that new ores and things like that are generated through events instead of through world generation. That's not to say that I won't have some, but what I really want to do is make sure that you don't have to regenerate your world all the time to play my game from early development, because I think I want people playing in depth if I'm going to do this from an early stage, so that people don't, well, for one, they don't get frustrated with Terraformacraft. I'm always getting frustrated because I have to regenerate the world all the time. It's hard to really invest in it because I know it's not going to last. And it would be one thing to know that you could, that new things were coming, and that you would change some of the stuff you had built because you've got new technologies and stuff. But it's really difficult to get into just, letting it just get to you. It just gets to me. I don't know how else to put it. It's just hard to spend time because I like to build a bunch of stuff. I think I hit exactly the same spot and it didn't deposit anything. I don't know why that is. Anyway, so one of the principles is going to be you don't have to mess too much with regenerating the world. I'm going to try to get the things that are part of actual world generation, I'm going to try to get them in early and not change them, so I can just really think through the game as much as possible. And then I'm going to create other things through events. And one of those events is these meteor strikes that you're seeing. Now, right now they're non-destructive, so you can see that they're basically placing blocks on top of the earth. I'll show you in a minute what it looks like when they are destructive, and it's interesting, and I've got some work to do on how that works, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to make them like minorly destructive. There's different options that I'll talk to you guys about, but anyway, you have two things here right now. One is scorched earth. That's what this is. So if we look at at this and look at scorched earth. Okay. That is right now just dirt. I've just taken the dirt texture and made it scorched a little bit, and that's what that is. What I'll probably do is have one of those textures for every type of block that I plan on placing on top of. And what I might have is like certain blocks I'll place on top of and certain blocks I will replace. And in fact, I might do that change right now and show you guys that. But the idea would be that like sand might turn into scorched sand and have some percentage chance of getting replaced with one of these, which is actually called meteorite ore right now. It'll have a better name, or maybe multiple names, but that's meteorite ore. And it's actually just a obsidian texture, but scorched. And I kind of think it's cool. I mean, I didn't take any time on these, but I might have different versions of that. And it's also really, really hard right now, which doesn't matter in creative mode. But so anyway, so yeah, the idea would be that this is the non-destructive way. And so what I probably will do, you can see like if I hit a building, let's try this. There we go. So you can see that right now I have it to where it will replace things like grass and snow, but it won't replace things like carrots. So it just sits on top of the carrots. It doesn't destroy them. And I'm going that way because I just don't want to destroy anything. If these are going to happen at random and I want them to happen really rarely, but somewhat, I mean, they have to happen sometimes, right? It can't be so rare that you never have it happen and it's so frustrating. But when it does happen, I don't want it to, destroy everything you've built. So what I might do is something like, I don't know, certain things I might not respect that much and certain things I might. So, in this case, carrots probably aren't a big deal. Like, of course you're going to have some destruction, so you just take it and don't worry about it. But like if I hit a building, I might want it to just deposit on top of the building. What would be really nice is to kind of have like a mix of both. I think I might go change that code and then come back and show you guys. Because what I would like to see is where if it hits a building, it will deposit on top of it. But if it hits dirt, sand, or something, it will turn it into scorched version. So I'll have a texture I'll have a scorched sand block and a scorched dirt block and a scorched, I don't know, maybe even like scorched cobblestone and stuff. Or stone, so that if it hits one of those things, and stone gets into a mix of, like sometimes people build with stone, so do I really want to do that? I don't mind messing people's sand up and their dirt up because they could replace that, but do I want to mess up their whole building? The other thing is it's not really that big of a hit, so as long as they've got things covered up, I'm not going to destroy machines or anything, so, not that big of a deal, but right there's a hit on top of the building, and so it just placed that. So it'd be really easy to clean up if it hit your house or something. And plus, you would actually be really fortunate if it hit your house, because one of the other things is that the ore is going to be extremely heavy, and it's going to require you to use something like mine carts. So that gets into the next stage of the principles of my mod, is that I want to utilize the core basic principles of the game. That are already there, the vanilla game. So the idea right now is that you would have to have this thing like, let me see if I even have it. Carbon steel pickaxe. These, obviously, I've been messing around. I'm just using random textures. This is a carbon steel ingot. This is going to be a carbon steel pickaxe. I actually have a texture for that. I don't know why I'm not using it, but the idea here is that these are just going to be, carbon steel is like one of the hardest things that's found in real life, and makes perfect sense to me because I think I would like to use the idea of iron and things that exist in the game right now, and then add processing and things that you can do to in somewhat unique ways. I'm trying to think of things, but add processing and things that you can do to make other things out of it. So iron, making iron into steel, obviously a good idea. A lot of mods are doing that, so you could make steel, and then you would make carbon fiber with coal, which again, other mods are doing that, not a big deal. But then you would make carbon steel, which is this, mix of carbon fiber and iron, and it's rolled and meshed, and I don't really understand exactly what it is, but I don't even know if it's real or who cares, but it sounds cool. So you would make those, and then you would need carbon steel or whatever to make pickaxes that you could use to harvest this. And then you would harvest it. It would be really heavy, and you would have to utilize rail cars. And I'll probably do my best. right now I want to go in the direction of making a mod that you would use by itself or could use by itself and really have a lot of fun. But I would probably try to support things like Railcraft and Steve's Carts and stuff like that to, you could utilize that. But I want to start with like just use the base mechanics and control everything, because I think balance, it comes through control in a lot of ways. It's hard to keep balance when you spread across a lot of different mods, because you can do, like you can make one thing really expensive, like a macerator in GregTech, and then make a pulverizer cheap, and then why ever make a macerator, right? So I like the idea of kind of making it so that it's meant to be played by itself. People obviously do whatever they want, but I want to make it fun enough that you wouldn't have to go too far outside the bounds, and for it to just feel like Minecraft plus, like Minecraft plus plus instead of, a completely different game. Which I have nothing against. I love Terraformacraft, love FTB, but I just want to, contribute in my way. So that's some of the things that I'm thinking about. Again, you making rail carts necessary and useful. So if one of these things landed by your house, you could probably just, get it. But, the idea would be that you would mine these, and maybe even mining it would mean you chip it off or something. I don't know. Like, I really don't know, because you would get a lot out of it and it would take a long time, because right now there's 20% chance. This is actually a pretty good strike. This bottom one's probably more realistic. There's like a 20% chance that it's going to be ore. And I think I'll probably in the future make that even less, and then guarantee that every strike has at least one ore or something like that. So make it like a 10% chance with a guaranteed one ore per strike. And then, something like that. So anyway, yeah, let me make a change, then I'll think about, I wanted to show you what I was thinking about with like replacing blocks versus placing blocks on top or depositing blocks. So let me do that. I'll be right back. All right. So let's see if this does what I expect. So now if I hit the sand in a flat area, yeah, it just replaces the sand, right? So imagine if this was scorched sand instead of scorched dirt, and then some meteorite ore. That would be kind of cool, right? I mean, the idea is that the meteorite explodes and whatever, but if I hit a house, let's see if I hit a partial like house slash, close. Ooh. There we go. So then it just deposits on top of the house, right? So it would replace, and I could make this actually to where it kind of looked more like a crater, because the depositing on top of the world's a little funky looking. Although I don't know if that's much better. Maybe depositing is better. You guys tell me what you think, but I definitely don't want to be too destructive with that. So anyway, that was that change. So yeah, like I said, I mean, I think the things that I'm thinking, just kind of give you a larger scale. I'm also a little bit worried about just like saying, here's what I'm going to do, because I know that there's a lot of, the industry's a little funky. That's funny. See, I have a lot of work to do, like logic work, but the industry's a little funky with people, like the whole DayZ Warzy thing that's going on right now is a little bit of a, of an eye opener to what you could be getting yourself into. Who knows who's right or wrong, but which one came first, and are people just flat stealing ideas, and people have just flat stolen Minecraft, and kind of, which is fine. I mean, whatever, more power to them, I guess. Notch doesn't care, but anyway, so I don't know. I don't know if this is a unique enough idea that anybody's going to care, but I do think that the whole event-based, item generation, like ways to add new things into the game over time, and not have to change your world, like emeralds spawn as an ore. It'd be sweet if, well, and getting them via villagers is actually a brilliant idea as well. The ability to get emeralds via villagers if you've cultivated a village, or go have to mine for it, was cool. But I want to keep, like I said, I want worlds to just be able to live forever and ever and ever, and not have to change when I do new things. And I want the mod to be able to grow. And I know that that's a total pipe dream, and that I won't ever be able to fully, do that. There's going to be times when I have to. See, sometimes that happens. Like, I don't think I got any deposit at all. Anyway, I know it's kind of a pipe dream, because I know there'll be times when it... Did I get in their house? No. There'll be times when I have to regenerate the world to get things, and I'm sure that will happen. But I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum. But anyway, yeah, grand scale, I'm thinking things like the whole point of everything would be to get one of the points of everything would be to get satellites into space, and I want to get satellites that you could maybe even see, like random. I don't know. There'd be a lot of math involved, which I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm not the best at math. I'm not bad at math, but I just haven't done it in a long time, and I just don't. I don't know if I have the time to spend to really learn everything I need to learn. But anyway, so the idea would be to get satellites, and satellites would be useful for maybe other things, like the whole maybe actually like multiplayer war. People trying to get missiles. I know I've talked to Fizzle about this. He was thinking that it would be cool to have like the ICBM thing where you could have like missile defense. One thing I did also think about when I had destructive. Oh, I want to show you that. Hold on one second. All right, I'm back. So I've changed some things. So the block replacement isn't going to work as well, but see. So this is the way I had it originally, was that you would blow crap up. I've been playing with this. I've like had explosions that were taking out like the entire screen. But see, the way I have it right now, I changed a lot of the code. I just wanted to show you the explosion. Right now, I don't have it replacing anything because it's blowing out all the blocks that it would place. But that's what I was thinking about having a meteor look like. Like a meteor strike would look like that, and then it would have, in here would be scorched earth and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun, but then obviously you can imagine what it does to a village or somebody's house. Wow, I'm not a very good destructive. There we go. Slightly better. There we go. So yeah, you can imagine that wouldn't be very fun to have that hit your house. So that's why I kind of changed it. But anyway, I was thinking about having, the ability to create like meteor defense systems that you would place in like 100 block radius. It would blow up the meteor as it came in, like with a missile or something. And I don't know if you'd see it or if it would just happen. And then it would like scatter some of the ores around. So you still would get the benefit of the meteor strike, but you wouldn't have it be destructive. So it would just like scatter a couple of ores around. You'd have to go pick them up or something. And then, things like machines, like I was saying, processes, I'm thinking more like bigger things. I like having to build, we have these little machines that we place as blocks, but I'm really more into like the blast furnace type thing. I really like how some of the mods are starting to expand, the blast furnace, the coke oven, things that you have to build. Well, especially, Terraformacraft, again, he does amazing things with like the charcoal pits and the forges or the whatever, all that stuff. So that's the kind of thing that inspires me. I'm really into that kind of thing. So, having to build big structures to house big things, and, something like the Wrath Igniter that creates the dark iron and all that stuff. I don't think I would go that route, but the tanks, all of those things that, the Buildcraft or the Railcraft tanks, all those things that people are doing now, that I really like that style. So I'm going to try to think of clever and unique ways to do that kind of thing. And, yeah. So anyway, I really just wanted to get a video out and tell you guys why I haven't been doing anything. And, I guess it's okay to talk about the mod, and hopefully no one's going to think it's a brilliant idea and have better mod development skills than I do. So, oh, nice. That's interesting. Oh, that's really interesting. What that's doing is it's actually exploding in the water and placing on top of the water, which is what it's supposed to do. What I want that to do in this case is go down 2 blocks and replace what's underneath there. So I'll do that. Because I want it to be able to strike in the water, but I want you to have to go down to get it. So if it hit in the ocean, you'd have to go to the bottom and do it. So anyway, now that I've got this, I think some of the stuff that I want to do in the next will be a lot easier to do. Like some of the machines and some of that stuff there, it's a little more basic, especially if I make them small machines to start with, just block machines. And then, I think I'll probably work on getting this thing really refined. I'll have, sand versions of these so that when a sand strike, if you look in it, if I had a big dirt field, that would look cooler because it would look more like dirt, and it would kind of match the dirt. You know what I mean? So like it would look like scorched area of the world, not just like a, or a placed area of the world. And then you could get fancy, like to say if it was next to a block that was sand, it was like a half scorched block, and otherwise it was a full scorch. Like, I don't know if you could get really fancy with the way this would look, but I've got a lot to learn before I do that. So I do have some great examples of like mobs and things like that I could spawn in. It's amazing if you look at. It's funny because there's some code that you can look at. You can look at like Buildcraft code. You can look at some other code. What's amazing is how it's not very useful for some of the stuff that I'm trying to do. Like in Buildcraft, I don't know that there's the idea of spawning entities in and having stuff blow up. There is in Industrial Craft, which I can't get the source code for. There's the nice. There's the wow, I've broken things. There's the, what am I trying to say? The mining laser, which would have been great for this kind of thing, but you can't look at that code. So some of it's open source, some of it's not. You can try and decompile stuff, but a lot of them they don't want you to. So I've really just been trying to figure it out myself and see what's going on. So anyway, I'm enough. I've had enough rambling. I hope you guys at least appreciate hearing from me. I'm really sorry that I haven't done anything recently, and if you see more from me, this will probably be it. I'll probably be taking breaks to play things like Terraformacraft and stuff like that, FTB to get ideas and to be inspired, and I'll record some of that probably, but I don't know that you'll see the same thing you've been seeing from me for a while. So I don't want people to wonder what I've been doing, and I don't want people to get mad at me for not doing more of what you want me to do, but for now, I'm gonna go down this route, and like I said, you'll probably see some other playing from me, but it won't be at the level that I was before. Ooh, a witch's hut. I wonder if the witch is home. I've never seen an actual witch. Where is the witch? Is there ever a witch? Where's this stinking witch at? Will she only be there if I'm there? Or if I'm regular. Huh. That's awesome. That's kind of a cool place to put a witch's hut too in this world. Anyway, all right guys. Well, thanks for watching. I really look forward to some feedback. I hope you guys decide to give me some, and yeah, sorry for the rambling video. I just couldn't stomach doing another video that was like shorter and more concise, but I think this is more fun. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is I will try and share some of the wealth as far as knowledge goes if I'm able to do things and do some tutorials, because I would really love to see some tutorials on how to do mod development in Minecraft that went deeper than just the basic items and stuff. And so I might try to do that. I don't know if any of you guys are into it, but I'm not the greatest teacher. Everybody has told me I'm really not a very good teacher, but I could try to do some tutorials and just show how to do some of the basic, more advanced basic stuff that I'm doing. And as I go, I could maybe even do some more. It takes time, and that means less mod development, but I was so frustrated by not finding what I was looking for that I really want to try to give back in that way. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. I will cut it off now, I promise, and I'll talk to you next time. Hey, also thumbs up if you liked it, tell your friends, whatever. Helps. We'll talk to you next time.